Hello, everybody. This is, we can call this event tonight G Money After Dark, or we could also call it G Money in the Dark. Uh, Lighting situation is not the greatest right now. I do not like when that window is exposed like that, but the queen bee, which would be my 89-year-old mother, keeps choosing to open up those blinds. So this is her residence. So I'm gonna have to just kind of deal with this right now. But I you know, it was so funny. Like when you try and this is obviously another one of those unplanned lives. But it's like I said this in a previous video. Sometimes when you get on uh, the video, people watch it later, call it therapeutic or what have you. But I today was like very, very powerful for me, very emotional in so many ways. Um, I truly wanted to go out and sell my fishing tackle today and gain income. You know, what keeps everybody alive, keep the money rolling in. But I remember 2 years ago, prior to that thing that everybody called the pandemic, um, on in this particular weekend, like I had like like basically non-existent sales because of an event that they hold in LaBelle, Florida, called the Swamp Cabbage Festival, and it's a really nice event. I'm so happy that I changed my plans for today. I thought about, I'm thinking like, man, like, do I go out there and try and gain income and just sit in my hot fan, remind you, I'm reminding a lot of viewers, you know, oh, one of you, whoever's watching right now, but my my air conditioning unit in my van does not work too well. I think it's something called a blower fan resistance motor or something like that. I don't know. It's only like a $40 part. I think I can fix that relatively easily myself. It was done about a year and a half ago, and it's a common fault with some Ford vehicles. I, I don't know if it's just the Ford vans or whatever, but my plan is to fix that on Wednesday. So we're not here to talk about the van, but so I really decide like what's my best use of. Hello, Nora. Thank you for popping in. This is like swamp cabbage. I don't know. I know a little bit about swamp ass, but I don't know a whole lot about swamp cabbage, Nora. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think I don't know. There's videos out there like actually a video I did today. I kind of like filmed some lily pads because I'm not sure if that's what they call swamp cabbage or not. And I wasn't sure if anybody's going to call me out on that. And somebody did. And honestly, I was like, I was just trying to see who was paying attention because I really have no idea what swamp cabbage is. But I know cabbage, I know the after effects of cabbage on my particular body. It's always not always pleasant, but uh, you made me laugh with that question, or I'm not gonna lie. That is uh that is too hard. Yeah, it's definitely better than swamp ass. That's for sure. I don't know, but you never gonna put a little seasoning on there. You never know what you can create. But I'd like to be creative in the kitchen, but that's not the type of creations I want to work on in the culinary world. But anyway, so 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 today I'm thinking like, man, what I had a cast net like throw this big mesh net. I don't know how many people know what a cast net is, and you try and catch bait fish and everything. And that's like really popular out in this part of Florida. I know Nora. I do believe she's up near Orlando, so she probably has some comprehension of what I'm talking about. But so I had like a request for one of these cast nets last weekend, or yeah, I think it was last weekend. So I was given a $50 deposit, and I told them, I said, let me I don't know the exact pricing yet, but I will, I will definitely contact, they gave me their contact information. I gave them my information, and I said, let's, let me get back to you. I said, I don't think it's going to be more than $90. I said, it could be cheaper, but I don't want to tell you, one price. I'm not, if it's not $90, I'm not going to charge you $90. But I'm telling you, I said the max end on my end would be $90 based on my recollection of the last price. So I get the cast net and all, we're all this stuff's going on. So I'm like, all right, well, I think today, since I realized I'm not going to make any sales selling the fishing tackle, I said, let me just go out here to LaBelle. They had this thing called the Swamp Cabbage Festival. And I'm thinking, all right, like I could probably do some different things today to maybe help my channel grow, or just try and do some other positive things in some manner, even though it's not really a positive when you're not gaining income. But I figure, well, let's not. Let me, at least when I knew I get to this Swamp Cabbage Festival, I knew I wouldn't have to run my vehicle, trying to pretend my air conditioning is going to work, which I know doesn't work, and all these different things. So it was I don't know how to describe it. I didn't get a really good video in the beginning because I was trying to be respectful to the inmates. But if anybody's ever looked at my my website's kind of like offline right now, so that's probably not a good example. But my Facebook page for my channel, Jailbait and Tackle, I think I have a logo on there which shows like an inmate, like a cartoon character with the horizontal black and white stripes, type thing. And it was the craziest darn thing today, because I thought that was so like far in the past into today's society. Pretty much, from what I hear, is like everybody's, they just throw them in orange jumpsuits, with like a number, on it and whatever, and that's it, But today I was rolling. When I say rolling, I mean rolling in laughter. I'm approaching on foot from a couple blocks away because I was too cheap to pay the $10 everybody else was asking. I found a bank like literally 2 or 3 blocks down the road, and I could park there for free. So that's how I roll. I'm cheap, frugal. Some people call me Frugal Fred. But hello, Rebecca and Dan. I appreciate everybody popping in. This is another unplanned event, but I kind of want to get some things off my chest a little bit, and I want to encourage some people to do one thing as hopefully we get more viewers in here. But anyway, so so as I'm walking down this side street, there's this massive tractor trailer. It says Hendry County Sheriff's Department. It was like their mobile command, whatever you want to call it, like communication center. But this thing was like, it's not, we're not talking like a little RV. This thing was massive. It was like a tractor trailer. So then I see that. So then all of a sudden, I see this pickup truck at the intersection, and they're trying to turn the corner like towards where I was walking. And I look, and I kid you not, there was probably at least 8 inmates with the black and white, like the old style penitentiary prison uniforms. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like almost too epic. And I wanted right away. I was like, I pull out my phone, and I'm like, this probably would not be so respectful to them, like, you don't want to show anybody's faces, they're doing their thing, they've been sent out there for a reason to work on that particular, they're working off their punishment, whatever you want to call it. And so, but I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is like exactly what I want to do. Well, when I opened my bait and tackle shop, I kid you not, I kid you not, I've already thought about, I had so many plans, and I'm for the first week, I'm going to wear an inmate uniform, and that's what I'm going to do. If I am fortunate enough to be able to get to that point, it all comes down to finances and other things happening here in my life. But anyway, I see all these. I kid you not, it was like it was almost like one of those meant to be moments. But I see all these guys, all these inmates in the back of this pickup truck, and I'm like, man, like, I'm like really conflicted now, But anyway, so I finally turned around, and they were like way down the street, and I did like do like a little short clip of that in the beginning of a video when I was doing the Swamp Cabbage Festival, and I was like, man, what a great way to represent my my channel, right? But like, I honestly, I don't even think it's even like visible. You'd have to probably really enlarge the thing. But I was like, wow, that's like, man, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, my day's starting off like all spiffy. I'm like, ooh, let's get this day going, So like, I really have no idea what. Hey Ted, how's it going, buddy? So I really have no idea what I'm adventuring on here in this Swamp Cabbage Festival thing that I've heard so much about. I don't think they had it last year because of that, element everybody had. And so now I'm like, I know I'm there early. So I know it's not like a big crowd. It doesn't look real festive like, a festival should be. But so I'm walking around, and I'm like, wow, man, like, I'm seeing a lot of cool things, right? So I'm just meandering. How's that for a word? Meandering. I can't even spell that. But so I'm just like going around, and I'm like really feeling inspired, or I'm not real like spiritual. I'm not going to lie to you, anybody out there, but I'm feeling like blessed, if you want to use the word. And I'm just walking around and seeing so many different things. I'm like, and I've told people in the past, when I go to sell fishing tackle in Alva, and LaBelle is the next town over. I kid you not. When I say the next town over, it's like 15, 20 miles away, but it's very, very country, very, I mean this in the utmost respect. When I say these next terms, it's very redneck, but I mean that they're, all the people I deal with out there are always polite. There's a term in Florida called cracker, and which is basically a Florida cracker. Has something to do with the old days where they would crack a whip, and basically it's Same damn thing. Like you're, you know, if you're a Florida cracker, you were born here and you cracked a whip, or you had heritage related to that. When I say crack a whip, I don't mean, let me clarify that, please. Nobody prosecute me for this. When you're cracking a whip, you're not doing it on people. It's more like livestock or, cattle. And so let me please clarify that. So today, I'm making my rounds and I'm doing all these things, and I did a couple of little short videos that were just cheesy, like I don't like all my gray hairs. So, thank God with these earmuffs on, you can't really see them. But so I'm just kind of making my rounds, and then I remembered as I'm trying to go down, I'm trying to upload, this video, and then I remember, oh, you know what? Actually, it was still wrong sequence of events on my part. I've done this a couple times in the past. So I'm just literally just trying to kill time because I want to go to the Bruiser Baits Tungsten Steel weigh-in at their bass tournament. It's a Swamp Cabbage Bass Tournament 2023. And it's literally right across the other side of the bridge. So so now I'm literally, I realized, like, man, I got a whole lot of time to kill. So I'm just driving around. I go to Walmart. I'm trying to load a video, and then all this. So then 10 years ago, I went to this establishment. It's called Beef O'Brady's. It's like Buffalo Wild Wings. So I was like, let me just chill out in here for like an hour or whatever I got to do to just be in air conditioning, because my van air conditioning is pretty much non-existent. So trust me, folks, I'm going to get to the end of the story here eventually. So I'm just hanging out, and then I'm talking to the guy, and I remembered all of a sudden, there was a something in the news recently. There was a mural for an FWC officer that was painted on the side of one of these buildings out there in LaBelle. And it was like, it was to me, it felt like man, I don't want to get all corny and everything, but like the stars aligned for me on this day, because I'm like, oh, wow. I remembered that, right? So I'm asking the manager there at the Beef O'Brady's there. I'm like, by any chance, do you know about, and I didn't even get mural out of my mouth, like fully said. He goes, yeah. He goes, I can tell you exactly where to go. He pulls out a piece of paper, draws me a little map. He goes, I'm friends with the family. I can tell you where to go. So now I'm like, whoo. You talk about powerful moment. So the mural for this FWC officer was an officer, I wouldn't say I don't remember the exact dates. I know there's going to be more of a tribute coming up in something with a collab with another channel that I think is going to be have some more specific details. But I did post a video today documenting. It's only like a 2-minute video or whatever, not even that. Of the mural. So to me, it was very, very emotional, because I have worked as a dispatcher in law enforcement, and I just respect the thin blue line. Yeah, I totally respect law enforcement, and having some background on what this FWC officer has done in the past from a friend of mine who's a commercial fisherman, knew him very well, and some other, just all the other things like what I heard today. That FWC officer, his name was Julian Keene, and he paid the ultimate price, for upholding his oath to law enforcement. He was actually off duty. Think about that. How dedicated are you to your profession and your oath to he ended up confronting somebody who was a hazard on the road, I guess you could say, and he ended up being killed by. Don't quote me on this, please. Don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, I could be wrong on this fact, so please don't hold my feet to the irons or whatever you want to call that expression. But I think it was an illegal alien. So he was trying to prevent a fatality on the roadway from basically a drunk driver, somebody who's inebriated, that was not allowed to, you shouldn't be allowed to be driving on the roads. And so this Julian Keene tribute, just, I knew so much about it previously. And then it was just so weird. All the things that happened today were just like, man, it's like, whew, I don't want to say the stars aligned, but I felt like I'm like a little tiny channel. I have a little tiny voice. But man, just when you see that mural, I had two thoughts. I'm not going to lie to you. I had two thoughts. I'm like, oh my gosh, how beautiful is this? Because I had already heard about it. I kind of knew a little bit about it. I didn't know the whole panoramic view that you guys can see in my earlier video. But man, I'm losing my train of thought here because that was so impactful for me. But then it was just, I know what my part two was. I'm sorry. But this beautiful mural is literally like it's like one block off the road. It's almost like in an alley. So you commend the people for doing that beautiful thing. But my heart is telling me, like, man, we got to do more for this guy. This guy is your hometown hero. He has died for you and your people, your neighbors, your family. Like what? I just feel like I don't even live out there. I want to live out there. That whole area is just beautiful. It's magical, and I'm thinking, like, man, like what? So many things were running through my head today. Like, why not rename the town of LaBelle like Keensville? Julian Keene, man. This is the dude that was a football hero in high school in your town. Don't quote me on this part, but I think he went to the University of Miami and played football there too. The big dude. He was a big dude. And so I'm thinking, like, Nora, I'm sorry. I haven't really been reading a lot of the comments. It's called LaBelle, Florida. LABELLE, Florida. And it's like their claim to fame every year is the Swamp Cabbage Festival, which was yesterday and today. And it just so it so many things happened today that was totally unscripted, just kind of like this video too. But so, like, I see this mural and I'm like choked up because it reminds me of my friend Master Corporal Ronnie Williams, good friend of mine, state troop. He ended up dying. I had to go to his funeral, and that's like, it's you call it flashbacks or, PTSD, whatever you want to call it. But man, like today was like, I'm like, man, it's like, I'm real happy that I went to the Swamp Cabbage Festival. I was there early and it wasn't real crowded in there, but I got to see a lot. And I thought it did okay, like just, as a rookie videographer, whatever. Then I go have a couple beers, at the Beef at Brady's, and then they tell me about this. I go there, and now I'm like, oh man, like now, like you talk about your emotions going up and down. Like now, I feel like I think it's outstanding that LaBelle or that business, whatever that business was, stepped up to the plate to do this beautiful mural. But it's like on a little side alley. I'm like, man, like can can we do more for this individual? So like I'm seriously thinking about contacting, even though I'm not a resident of that town, it's probably like, peeing in a fan, but I think it would be really cool if they found a way to rename LaBelle Keensville or something like that, or, something to truly honor one of their own hometown heroes. So now let me move on to, so eventually I was able to kill a bunch of time, and Bruiser Baits is a really cool fishing outfit. I say outfit, producer of baits, obviously soft baits, and they also have tungsten steel. They do hard baits and stuff like that. And I am somewhat connected with them. I'm not like super tight like Small Water Charters is, and but I man, it was so weird. Like today was like, I'm like, I'm not going to make money today, but I might as well make something happen, right? So I had been wanting to do this for a long time because I see Steve Dial, he's the owner of Bruiser Baits. I see him posting on all these different tournaments he does. He does a lot of UBass and different things. I'm going to say this one more time: things of that nature. That's my famous quote. But so I'm out there, and I'm just kind of like just chilling, killing time, and then I end up viewing the not viewing, but filming the weigh-in. And I honestly, like as I'm doing it, I'm thinking like, man, this production is going to like be, terrible. And yeah, Melinda, yeah, you know what, you're on to something there, Melinda. Yeah, street name would probably be easier than changing the whole name of the town. But I honestly, man, I think you're on to something there, Melinda. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. But so now I'm just videoing this thing, and I like I'm terrible at film. And that's what's so great about when I get on StreamYard. I can just sit in front of the camera and just blah, 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 and there's not a whole lot of editing. It's just you get what you get. And so when I first got out there, I thought I was videoing for like the first 30 seconds. I don't know. I must have only had it on. I don't know, but it failed. And then after that, I was in a flow for about 29 minutes or whatever it was. And I'm feeling pretty good because I'm kind of like it's a lot of people around, a lot of people talking. So I'm kind of like talking, into the phone as the phone's filming towards, the way in. I'm kind of trying to narrate it somewhat, and I'm feeling pretty good, like vocally, like how I'm, trying to narrate this thing. And um, but the whole time I'm thinking, man, the clarity on this thing just sucks. Just it's too dark or whatever, but you never know. Like, I'm just on this Android phone. So I'm just praying for the best. So go on and go on, and then I know, like, from past experience with my Android phone here, if I get up to like 32 minutes or whatever, it, on any type of video, it cuts me off. So I pretty much knew I could see, the time period. I was like, all right, let me just cut this off right here, and then let's come back. So then I was hoping it could, be edited, which is definitely not in my technological skills. So, but I did have a game plan. So that we're kind of leading up to that game plan. So then I go on and film the back end of it, where there's like some gift cards given away, trophies, and all this for this big fishing tournament. It was really, uh, I I was very happy when I was able to come home where I am right now here at my mother's house, and view the final product. Got some video uploaded to another channel that is going to edit the content, because we have mutual interests with this host. Try not to give away too much, but I think it's going to be something very special, because the person that is receiving the content that is going to edit it, it has mad skills. I mean, when I tell you mad skills, I mean, like, it's just like off the wall. So I pretty much, I said, I almost said the name. I didn't want to say the name. So if you can do me one favor, please. I said, the only thing I ask is that please watch the video earlier today with FWC officer Julian Keene. I said, can you find a way to give him a tribute, at least at the end, or however you feel fit to do it? And then they have a hashtag. It's called Be Like Julian. Hashtag Be Like Julian. And if you go back and watch the video from earlier, like I said, it's I don't know, it's like 100. When I say 100, a minute 54 or something like that, and it's in there. It's in right in the center of the mural, and I'm like, man, that's like powerful. Like, I a lot this month I've been talking about, as well as JJ Drones, about hashtag Find a Way to Serve. Well, this is like, I didn't really mention this in the video or any of these other things, but like, this is like literally equivalent in my opinion. Hashtag Be Like Julian, hashtag Find a Way to Serve. It's to me, it's almost like synonymous, because um, I try to get away from the FWC thing, but it's hard for me to get away from something I believe in and passionately. These people are out there doing a lot of good things. Uh, so now we've talked about the Swamp Cabbage Festival, FWC, all this other things. And now I'm just waiting for, I think, what's going to be a beautiful, beautiful collaboration with another channel that I normally would never, ever ask for. But I think today was a very special event for Bruiser Baits, for LaBelle, the Swamp Cabbage Festival. Everything just kind of like unified as one just beautiful day. I like I said, I'm not real spiritual, but man, it's like I realized, like, when I got home tonight, like, I'm stressed out the whole way home. I'm sweating because the air conditioning doesn't work, and I'm thinking, like, man, this is gonna, I sometimes I'm like a negative Nancy, because I have lived with this curse, and so I'm thinking, like, no, so when I actually started uploading the videos to the computer, you know, to send to this other channel, I realized like, wow, man, like this is like a lot better than I thought it was. You know, it was kind of closer to my expectations of what I wanted it to be. You know, it was so crowded there. It was a very small pavilion. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of dialogue, but I felt like I had a pretty decent angle. So I think when this other channel puts this production together, I think it's going to be really, really special because they have mad skills, and I just I kind of wanted to get on here. I tried to reach out to Mike's Fishing Home, and I'm still waiting. I know he's like 3 hour time zone. He's working or whatever he's doing, but I want to keep sharing this message about FWC officer Julian Keene. So if anybody can do me this favor, and this is not about my channel, please, it is not about my channel, but I truly want that I call it a short video. It's not a short like in the true term, less than a minute. It's like a minute 54 seconds or whatever it is. Please share and talk about Julian Keene because he truly is an American hero. He's a legend in LaBelle. He will always be remembered. And matter of fact, I feel it's because I know so much about that background. It's my duty to make sure nobody forgets Julian. I never met him. But today, standing in front of that mural, I cried because I know so much about him from other people. It's so powerful, so powerful. So if you can, please share the story. I hashtag FWC, which is the Florida Wildlife Commission. This man, he deserved better. But I'm going to tell you what, the people of LaBelle and the state of Florida, they got the best. They got the best out of that man because he was truly, truly dedicated. I'm sorry. I know I've been emotional a lot lately, but today was like just so many things came together that it was almost like a dream in a way. I needed a day like this, not to cry, but to feel like I could contribute to society. So if you can, please share the video about the mural. Not for my behalf, but just for just to respect law enforcement. I'm gonna check out, folks. I'm sorry, man. Today was a rough day, but I do thank everybody for tuning in to this. Another unannounced live video. I gotta go tinkle, so let's get off the air and quit looking like an idiot. Peace out, folks.